Buenas tardes, good evening. Bishal Belesh. Munay Punchay a todas y todos. Gracias y bienvenidos to this year's Latino Cultural Heritage Month celebration. My name is Rodrigo Ejeca Duran, Cultural Curator, San Francisco native, and I'm honored to be your MC this evening. We would like to take a moment to acknowledge the Ramaytush Ohlone, the native people of this land, Yelamu, also known as San Francisco. We are in their sacred space, and we honor and thank them for allowing us in their casa. Also, while we cannot gather in person here at City Hall this evening for our regular reception with lots of incredible food, we have a great list of Latino-owned restaurants in our Facebook event for you to choose from. Be sure to check them out and order one of their specials for this event. This year's theme is Siempre Unidos, always united. We have always been here, united by land, ancient trade routes, mother tongue, spirits, and gods. Hemos estado siempre unidos aquí en las Américas. Today, more than ever, in the face of adversity and injustice, we must look at ourselves as a people and find strength in our multiracial, multi-ethnic, multifaceted identities. Identities with deep roots in this land. We will still be here despite COVID-19, a pandemic that has disproportionately impacted our Latino community, a community that is essential to the cultural and economic fabric of this country, quieran o no. It is our resilience, respect, pero más que nada amor for one another that have helped us persevere throughout the century. This moment is just a chapter in our story in this land. Only together will we overcome the impossible once again. Así que todos vamos a estar bien mientras estemos unidos, mi gente. Now, it is my honor to introduce our opening performance, Danza Azteca Mixcoatl Anahuac, a mission-based group of traditional Aztec dancers with origins from the valley of Tenochtitlan, modern-day Mexico City. Él es Dios.
Gracias. Lazo Camati, thank you very much. Quiero dar gracias. Somos el grupo Amishkwara Náhuatl de aquí de la misión. I want to thank today. We're at Mishkwara Náhuatl, traditional Aztec dancers here from the Mission District. Estamos bien orgullosos de estar aquí representando toda la cultura de América, desde México hasta Sudamérica. ¡Viva las Américas! We're very happy to be here. It's an honor, and we're very proud to represent all the cultures from Mexico to all the South. ¡Viva las Américas! ¡Viva mi gente! Gracias. Él es Dios.
I first met Maria, over 30 years ago. And I remember the first time I met her. And here was this grand woman full of confidence and just this presence. And I was just thought, wow.
I met Maria, I want to say almost 20 years ago, when she first began her journey to the Department of Public Health. She had a great capacity from the very moment I met her. What I saw in her was an ability to see things at a much higher scale than most people. So she was always on a quest, and a vision quest.
When Maria would say, I can help you with that, she was going to be full on making sure that she did what she promised she would do.
Her thing was always about making sure that communities were heard. Even after her passing, there's ways in which I didn't even realize she is, was working with different people and the impact that she had.
She just had a joy. She walked in life with the sense of helping to spread that joy with other people.
Certainly her passion for art and for the artist, and her deep belief that art is essential to create change. She carried that through in whatever she did.
Every community has something to offer to the city, and she worked very hard to make sure that there was equity brought to cultural centers. It was important for her to listen to artists and cultural workers and staff and bringing their ideas to the table and leading in that way.
But one of her biggest loves, her main love, is Paloma. She raised to be the beautiful young woman that she is, that she has left so many gifts for Paloma, and Paloma was the greatest joy for Maria.
I'm sure that when she left this earth, she felt loved. So it's just such a great honor that to speak to her today, to call her name. And I want to thank all the committee members of this celebration for Latino heritage, that she's being recognized. It's very important to never forget her, right? And to keep her name living.
And her passing, I've heard from so many different people in all these different projects and within the health department, just about how much she meant to them in terms of her encouragement and her leadership and her mentoring of people from all ages and all walks of life. And that's a huge impact and legacy that she has left.
She had an ability to see things in people that sometimes the person themselves could not see. I certainly benefited from that, where she believed that I could accomplish things that at times I wasn't sure I could accomplish. And I felt like if Maria believed in me, then I could do my best.
Maria X. Martinez was an incredible leader in our community, and we miss her deeply. A sincere thank you, gracias, to her daughter Paloma, who is watching tonight, for sharing your mother with the world. Your community's here for you and your familia as we grieve this tremendous loss. Now, I have the honor of introducing our host, the 45th Mayor of the City and County of San Francisco, Mayor London Breed.
Good evening. Thank you so much for that introduction, Rodrigo. It is so great to have a reason to dress up. I wish we could be at City Hall right now to celebrate together in the Rotunda, but we are still able to have an event that celebrates and honors our incredible, resilient, and united Latino community. Thank you again, Rodrigo, for serving as our MC tonight, and to our host committee for their hard work. That tribute video for Maria X. Martinez was absolutely incredible. And I know that her legacy and the work that she did for not only the Latino community, but for the arts and so many other people throughout this city will live on through her work. Tonight, we are here to honor a community that has faced significant hardships and difficulties this year, but who has also stepped up to the challenge and showed the world what it is made of. This community has worked to minimize the impacts of COVID-19 in our Latino community. But despite our early focus on equity and collaboration with the community, disparities have persisted. We know the numbers. Nearly half of all COVID-19 cases in San Francisco are in the Latino community, despite only being 15% of our city's population. These numbers are proof that what we are doing was not enough. This community organized and advocated for more funding and more resources, and I am proud to work with them and our city departments to deliver. And this is just the beginning. We need to continue working together, not just to minimize these impacts, but to go above and beyond in supporting one another and creating long-term and impactful changes beyond COVID-19. This includes economic and workforce development, housing, food security, and family support, and of course, other resources for our residents and our small businesses. It includes making sure that our Latino community is not only in the room, but at the table when these decisions and policies are being made. It means supporting our Latino-owned businesses, from the Mission to Visitation Valley to the Excelsior. It means standing together, always united, to push for more equality and justice in all of our diverse communities. Tonight, we honor that unity and that spirit of community that fuels our work. And as one of our honorees might say, feeds the soul. I hope you all order from your favorite Latino-owned restaurant for dinner tonight in place of our regular reception. I have my tacos, my crispy tacos from Porta Alegre, which I absolutely love. We have a wonderful show in store for you tonight. We'll be honoring three amazing leaders, Roger, Melba, Roberto, people that I absolutely love and adore, folks who are doing incredible things in the community. There'll be some more amazing performances, some spoken word, and even some comedy. The arts are how we truly celebrate and lift up our cultures, especially in San Francisco. While we recognize the immense hardship and difficulties that we all have faced over the years, but especially in our Latino community, tonight we celebrate hope. Hope that will emerge from this pandemic stronger and more resilient than ever before. Hope that we will inspire future generations of leaders to step up and to serve like the many leaders who are stepping up today. Hope that will always be united. Thank you all again for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy tonight's celebration.
Thank you, Mayor Breed. Now, I'd like to take a moment to recognize an incredible group of Latina and Latino leaders and organizations that are working to meet the needs of our community members citywide. The San Francisco Latino Task Force on COVID-19 is collectively minimizing the barriers between Latino and Latino families and the resources available by the City and County of San Francisco, the State of California, and nationwide. They are the greatest example of community uniting to provide and support one another.
The Latino Task Force is a group of organizations that are working together to minimize the impact that COVID is having on Latinos. We have a number of committees to make sure that Latinos have access to resources, to make sure that Latinos stay alive and healthy and safe, and they have what they need to not only be healthy, but to just thrive in the city of San Francisco.
The food distribution is one of the most crucial gifts that we can give as a community to our community, because it is a matter of economic and financial survival. They don't have to worry about using the money to go to food. They can pay the rent or they can pay bills. So during COVID, if we can keep our community fed and sustained in a healthy way, they can survive in other ways. They can figure out the other ways to survive.
The need that we're seeing spans across young people, parents, abuelitos, abuelitas, right? Immigrant folks, people who don't have access to technology, people who don't understand how unemployment works or how governmental systems and bureaucracies work. So one of the things we're really proud about with LTF, especially the Resource Hub, is that all the services and appointments that we have, they are offered in person. That's intentional, right? That there's somebody who looks like you, who speaks your language, who can explain things to you in a way that makes sense.
We also have a testing hub. We try to target the Latino community, the undocumented community, and also the essential services for this community. We try to make sure that we target that population, because as the data shows, we're 51% of the positive cases. One of the things about growing up in the mission and learning from our elders and our activists is that we do things in a way that is with self-determination. And our value system and our guiding principles are this: community-led, community-implemented, and community-driven. With those three guiding principles, we decide how things are done in this community.
That's really how it works, is we call upon each other to come up and support. We need volunteers to give away food, we show up. We need people to staff our resource hub upstairs, we show up. That's just the nature of the community, and that's the nature of the community work that we lead.
Buenas noches a todos y a todas. Good evening, everyone. It is an honor for me, and I am moved to play the distinct role of introducing to you the recipient of the Rosario Anaya Community Award, Roberto Yamir Hernandez. Roberto has deep roots in the mission community, and throughout his life, he has exercised passion in every single advocacy role that he plays with our community. He is a father, he is a grandfather, most recently, a young bisabuelito. Congratulations, Roberto, by the way. Roberto has a unique talent of feeding and quenching our thirst for culture and dance and music through the annual production of Carnaval San Francisco. Most recently, however, due to the pandemic, COVID-19, that's mostly affecting our Latino families in San Francisco, he has taken a pause and is now leading the role in distributing thousands of food bags throughout the city, and primarily from 701 Alabama Street. Thank you, Roberto. I appreciate you. I love you, my good brother. And most importantly, I want to say that I take joy, much joy, in those spontaneous check-in calls that you make, where you start the conversation with a couple of hilarious jokes that make it difficult to remember the rest of the conversation. Mi compadre, congratulaciones y buenas noches.
We're here at the Mission Food Hub, which I started actually out of my house back in March and through April, and then the need just kept growing, and so I was able to work with our community partners and who own the building here. A shout out to them, Mission Language Vocational School in Jamestown, and Mission Neighborhood Centers in Meda, and Instituto Familiar de la Raza for giving us a space. And we started in May on Cinco de Mayo. And we started with 500 families, and the need just kept growing and growing, and the lines kept growing. And so today we are now servicing 7,000 families 3 days out of the week. And what's really cool is that we provide Latino culturally appropriate food for our gente. For me, it feeds my soul, my heart, my spirit, my mind that I've been able to collectively work with hundreds of volunteers to provide the most basic human need for people during this crisis. And I really believe that food feeds not only your stomach, but it feeds your mind and it feeds your body. For me, it's been a milagro, a miracle of how not one single person that I reached out to come help to this day has told me no. And in fact, people have told me thank you. And I say no, thank you. And it's been beautiful for me to know that there's so much amor and so much love that exists within the Latino community and even outside the Latino community of people that of all races have contributed in one way or another to get us through this crisis. This award recognizes the milagro, the miracle that has happened here in the mission and that just organically grew and now supports people in the Tenderloin, the Excelsior, Visitation Valley and the Baby, and it's just like grown. And for me, it's a blessing, to be surrounded with so many people who just care and are dedicated and committed to human life.
Our second performer is a social justice advocate who uses the power of art and spoken word to organize, educate, and heal communities. She is a bilingual poet, muralist, community educator, and organizer hailing from San Francisco, California. Her passions have taken her around the US and the world to places like Spain, France, Belgium, and Morocco. You can also find her murals in art galleries, restaurants, and various businesses throughout San Francisco, Oakland, and Vallejo. Please join me in welcoming Force to Fly.
I dedicate this to the peacekeepers, everybody who's put down the gun and picked up a pen to write, to make art, to make poetry, to make posters for rallies. This one is for you and for anyone who fights against gun violence. I woke up at 2:31 a.m. to rounds going off. I dropped to the floor, heartbeat accelerated. Are you okay? I checked for survivors and I skipped myself. Trauma, it's not a body experience. And gunshots this Friday night prove the plague of violence is a direct correlation with mattresses on the floor. Symptomology includes surviving by any means necessary. Traits to distinguish encompass the death of children and young adults. Hurry, call 911 and tell them another innocent person got shot today by pain, desperation, poverty, racism, and depression. The Glock is still hot from setting off 3 rounds. Pop, pop, pop. 9 left in the clip, and 9mm never felt so big. Car scrapes off burning rubber, leaving fingerprints on concrete. Evidence of bloodshed and regret. Fast cars revving, making geometric landmarks. We call those hood scars. The coroner's office is calling someone's mama tonight to deliver heartbreak and trauma. Your child was identified by the coroner. You can pick up the body once you choose a mortuary. Call us back once you're ready. Case number, we don't care. You can pick up the body Monday at earliest. Enemies are out for vengeance, blood for blood, eye for an eye, causing the same cycle to repeat again. Same nightmare tomorrow, same time, same place. Living in hostile territory creates mutations in behavior where we don't sleep near windows, we don't stack bunk beds, we don't start fights we can't win, we close every curtain and shade, we lock every window and door before bed, we say our prayers before we sleep because bullets have no name. We close our eyes to dream for just a moment's sleep. When another drive-by wakes us up again, fire on both sides means safe space is dead. Can I get off this roller coaster of emotion? No. I'm told bullets take no days off. So we drop the cover, palm sweating, heart racing, automatic responses to hit the pavement. So mattresses are purposely left on the floor for safety. Thank you very much. My name is Forced to Fly, and you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Forced to Fly to see my tour throughout Mexico. Thank you for your time.
Good afternoon. My name is Oscar Grande, and I'm here to introduce Roger Marenco as this year's recipient of the Cesar Chavez Labor Awards. It's my great honor to introduce Roger. I go way back with him when he was just a youngster organizing his block on Shotwell in the Mission District, organizing his block, his family, his neighbors against an unlawful eviction during that time. And I got to meet him, as an organizer, got to really see his revolutionary spirit, his eagerness, his boldness to just, fight for the rights of the people. And I see how it's carried it to this day as president of TW 258. And so I'm just proud of him, and I'm proud to introduce him. He's my comrade, he's my confidant, good friend. He's a first-generation Centroamericano, Salvadoreño, just like myself. And for many of us, he's a great source of pride. And we look to him to do, this award's well-fitting, but we looked for him to do many more amazing big things, fight for the needs of our community and our people. Thank you.
My name is Roger Marenco, president of the Transport Workers Union, Local 258. I've been in this position for approximately 2 years now. I started working and driving for the SFMTA as a 9163 transit operator for about 7 years now, I believe. And one of the reasons why I got involved with the union is I saw that there was sort of a need to organize the membership and to mobilize our workforce. And so me being a grassroots organizer and a mass mobilizer here in District 9, the Mission District, I just decided to get involved, and I started pumping people up, getting them ready, getting them educated, teaching them about whatever the case may be, little things here and there, how to get involved, why to get involved, what actions to take, and why it's important just to get involved in general. Being a muni operator, for me, I guess I would have to say that it's a way to express the vital, essential services that we as transit operators provide. What do I mean by that? I mean that I consider the transit operators to be givers of life. We give life to this city. We are the bloodline that gives life to this city. Without us, nobody goes to work, school, church, shopping, the doctor's office. Nothing happens without muni transit operators. And so that's what that means to me, that I'm a giver of life. I give life to this city in the same way that all my other union brothers and sisters, transit operators, give life to this city. That's what that means to me. It means a lot being recognized for my work. I guess if I had to sum it all up, I'd have to say it gives hope. Hopeful, meaning that the struggle continues, the struggle lives on, and there's hope in terms of us continuing to educate ourselves, organize ourselves, mobilize ourselves so we can continue pushing our issues forward, pushing our agenda forward in terms of acquiring better working conditions, improving our overall general health and safety, the well-being of our members. So I would say that this award means hope. I wasn't born in the city and county of San Francisco. I come from San Salvador, El Salvador, but I was pretty much raised here in District 9 in the Mission District, and receiving this award as a Latino man, once again, I have to revert back to the word hope. It gives me and all my other Latino brothers and sisters hope and an understanding that City Hall is watching, City Hall is listening, and City Hall is acting in some way, shape, or form. So I'm very grateful, I'm proud, and it's an honor receiving this award.
Congratulations. Felicidades, Roger. Now it's time for a few laughs. Es tiempo de la risa. Our next performer is known for her work in solo performance and stand-up comedy. and for being one of the first openly lesbian performers in the nation. She has appeared on Logo, Showtime, Comedy Central, and HBO. She also teaches solo performance in classrooms and online, and is a tenured artist in residence at our beloved Brava Theater. Please join me in welcoming Marga Gomez.
Felicidades, familia. I'm Marga Gomez. If you're bilingual, I'm Marga Gomez. I'm sending you a big abrazo from Brava Theater, San Francisco to San Francisco City Hall. I hope that you are all enjoying this ceremony, and congratulations to the honorees, and that we are feeling the community, the power of familia, and that we are motivated to take care of each other and this world. I am motivated today, even though I have a terrible headache. I've had a headache since last night when I watched the presidential debate. I watched the debate, and I don't know how you felt, but I'm like, I wish this was on Zoom, because on Zoom, there's a mute button. So many insults, so many below the belt digs. I felt like I was back in couples therapy. But I am single now, señoras. Señoras is a Spanish word for ladies. I'm trying to get better with Spanish. Check this out. Quiero desearles alegría por este importante mes de la herencia y fuerza para luchar por la democracia en estas próximas elecciones. I am not just here to celebrate with my beloved community. I'm not just here to ask you to vote, because if you are at this event, you're going to vote. I'm asking you, everyone who can hear me and see me right now, if you have not volunteered already, please take a volunteer shift at a phone bank, or a volunteer shift to send letters out to the contested states. And if you volunteered already, volunteer again. I'm volunteering for a phone bank tomorrow. I haven't done that in 10 years when they sent me home because I was too temperamental. I just have a problem with the undecided voters, and they set you up and they tell you, just read the script. And I'm an actor. I should be able to read a script, but I go rogue. I'm like, yes, that's nice. Yes. Oh, it's so nice to talk to you. Yes. You're undecided, huh? Well, now that you've heard me, do you plan to go to the polls and vote on Tuesday? And they're like, nah. Make up your mind. What's wrong with you? That's not how you do it. You got to do it like, who would be good phone banking? That singer, Adele. I know this is Latinx Heritage Month, but she is kind of a Latina. She has Latina hair, I think that's how I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it tomorrow, just kind of like Adele-ing it. I'm going to go, hello, it's me, the volunteer. I was wondering after these 4 years if you'd like to vote. Because if you don't vote, we might not have 4 more years of anything. And I don't want to call anybody out in this debate, because I know that it's City Hall and we're bipartisan. So I didn't say who it was. Or is it bisexual? I don't know. I get so confused in San Francisco. Muchas gracias.
Good evening. As we celebrate Latinx Heritage Month this evening, first I want to thank Mayor Breed for her leadership and support for the Latino community. I'm here today to introduce the Dolores Huerta Achievement Award to Melba Maldonado, my mentor. For over 50 years, she has distinguished herself for her leadership around civil rights, immigrant justice, and labor rights. And I'm so honored to be here introducing this award for her legacy in our community and deep commitment. She's so focused on centering the community at the forefront of the movement. And that's why I'm very honored to be here tonight. Thank you, and for your continued legacy and leadership.
I want to thank the Mayor London Breed, for this honor. I want to thank all of those in the community who chose us to receive this incredible award. I want to thank the team at La Raza Resource Center, which makes it possible for us to serve the people. Of course, the board of directors of my organization, which are amazing and supportive of everything I do. And this is not about today. This doing for the people is not just now under COVID-19. Beginning with my own family, who has supported me in everything I've done for so many years. Like my husband, Nesbitt Crutchfield, my daughters Alina and Malika, my son Orfeo. I have to have a special shout out to my granddaughter Vivian, and for my grandchildren Sebastian, Javi, and Sukai. It was Dolores Huerta, whose award I am being honored today, who coined that saying, and it means a lot. Yes, we can. And when you work in unity with your peers, when you work with unity with your city officials, and you have unity in purpose, yes, we can. Si se puede. And for that slogan, we are eternally grateful to Dolores Huerta. When we think about serving the people, you think about good trouble. We think about seize the time. We think about, serve the people. And those are slogans is exactly what drives us for so many years, to do good, to do what you're supposed to do, and to do what's necessary. And that for me is very important. And that what has guided my trajectory in life in terms of seeing what needs to be done, and because we listen to what people need. That's very important. At the same time, we have to be able to lead and to take that stand where sometimes it makes other people uncomfortable, but you know that that's what you need to do. So thank you so much, and continue the struggle, serving the people.
Maria X. Martinez and other members of the community fought for a response to the crisis at our border that was rooted in love and respect. Through this song, artists Diana Gameros, Liliana Herrera, and compañero Francisco Herrera are calling attention to the cruel and unjust caging of migrant children and families at immigration detention centers due to the zero-tolerance policy put in place by the current administration. The project also demands the immediate release of all migrants held in such detention centers and for a path to permanent status to be created for them.
Cuánta dulzura y valor de una madre y su niño que migra y camina hacia una vida mejor. If this is really the home of the brave, may our gates now be open for you. Have the courage to walk through a perilous fight with a child in your arms. Children are sacred. Nuestros niños son sagrados. Our children are beautiful. Bellos son. Our children are gifts. Son el regalo más amado. Our children are sacred. Sagrados son.
taken away. My pops is hating the state. This blanket doesn't keep me warm. They got these little kids locked up like animals on a farm. The separation doesn't harm. No es justo, es un abuso y te acuso de ser sucio. Es hora de cambiar el instituto. Luchamos y aguantamos, nunca hemos sido brutos. El sistema está quebrado, hemos sido abandonados. Me siento bravo, nos tratan como esclavos y no estamos unidos en los estados. Los corazones de mi gente están maltratados.
Llenos de esperanza, una vida con ganas de amar. Son las maestras, doctores, artistas, madres, ingenieras de un mundo de paz. Nuestros niños son sagrados, bellos son,
el regalo más amado.
sagrados son. Our children are sacred.
We welcome and embrace the family, yeah, and give them love. We declare sanctuary, building bridges, not walls.
Our children are sacred.
We must protect our children.
Our children are sacred.
Show them how that love is really real.
Our children are sacred.
Hey, we got to know that love,
Sagrados
that
son.
love is real in this world.
Sagrados
Quererlos, amarlos.
sagrados son.
Our children are sacred.
Nuestros niños
Our children are sacred.
Nuestros niños
Our children are sacred.
Nuestros niños
Our children are sagrados.
All right, everybody. Now we're ready for some baile, some música. Our next performers, Fogo na Roupa, is not just a group of dancers, though. They also pride themselves on teaching the younger generations the traditions and techniques of Brazilian dance and to develop confidence, discipline, and cultural consciousness. They have won many awards for their performances at Carnaval San Francisco, especially right here in the city. Their dances unite us in joy, spirit, folklore, and rhythm. Please welcome Fogo na Roupa. To close out tonight's celebration, I'm excited to introduce our final performers, Los Racas, two cousins, Raca Rich and Raca Dun, pioneering a new Latin urban sound, mixing hip-hop, plena, reggae, and dancehall music. This Grammy-nominated duo has set out to inspire fellow Racas to become successful no matter what their circumstances. They call themselves the manes de negocio, the businessmen. I call them manes del futuro, the future. Please join me in welcoming Los Racas.
Yo, ¿cuál es la que es, mi gente? Nosotros somos los Racas de Oakland, California, Panamá, Centroamérica. Si te gusta lo que vas a escuchar, métete a losracas.com.
Ganando.
Yeah, yeah.
Ganando.
Yeah, yeah.
Ganando.
Yeah, yeah.
Estamos ganando, primo. Estamos ganando.
Yeah, yeah.
Estamos ganando, primo. Estamos ganando.
Yeah, yeah. Estamos ganando, primo. Estamos ganando. Yeah, yeah. Estamos ganando, primo. Estamos ganando.
Cierran la puerta, si cierran la puerta yo tengo la llave. No me compare ninguno de ustedes, no somos iguales. Tuvimos nosotros que sacrificar para cumplir con los planes. No se vayan a poner por de frente, nosotros somos animales. Esto empezó en la calle de Oakland, allá en California. Allá donde juegan los Raiders, allá donde juegan los Warriors. Nominado a los Grammy, estamos haciendo historia. Independiente con muchos billetes, por eso me odian. Dime por qué ustedes se mueren de celo. No puedo entenderlo. Ahora me dice que van a mandarme llamar a los bomberos.
¿Por qué?
Porque todo lo que sale de mi boca mandiga de fuego. Hey, Donatrosa y te voy, hijo de puta, lo juro te parto. No importa el tamaño del muro, de alguna manera la asalto. Dicen que ando en la calle buscando la lana, sí, claro. Nada es gratis porque lo que tengo yo me lo gano. Ganando.
Let's go.
Ganando.
Ganando. Let's go. Estamos ganando. Hey, estamos ganando, primo. Estamos ganando.
Estamos ganando, primo. Estamos ganando.
Yes. Estamos ganando, primo. Vengo de abajo, así como el chavo. No tenía ropa, no tenía nada, no tenía carro. Mi tatarabuelo, él era un esclavo. Para Navidad no había jamón, no había pavo. Me gusta tomar, me gusta fumar, que tiene de malo. El mundo es mío, Tony Montana no me lo han dado. Como Durán, este es un hit, siempre nos guiamos. Hasta en la Casa Blanca nosotros nos han invitado. Muchos de ustedes que nunca ayudaron nos dieron la mano. Y me salude con la hipocresía llamándome hermano. Somos los manes que nunca fallan cuando tiran al aro. Somos aquellos que nunca pensaban que iban a estar nominados. Desde el principio yo no dudé, planté la semilla, la aplíquense. Gané mi respeto sin internet. Me tienen rabia, no sé por qué. A la delincuencia no voy a volver. Sigo ganando, no voy a perder. Sigo ganando, no voy a perder. Ganando. Yeah.
Estamos ganando, primo.
Yes.
Estamos ganando.
Estamos ganando, primo. Estamos ganando. Ey.
Estamos ganando, primo. Estamos ganando.
Ajá. Estamos ganando, primo. Estamos ganando. Ey.
Nosotros somos los manes de negocio.
Ey.
Somos los manes de negocio. Haciendo los millones con los socios, ya tú sabes.
Esta canción que viene, ¿para quién es dedicada, Rico?
La canción es dedicada para mi mamá, mi hermano.
¿Para quién más?
Para mi abuela.
¿Para quién más?
Para mi tía.
Ok. That's honorable.
Para mi hermana. Y toda esa chica alrededor del mundo. Eres especial, sobrenatural, espectacular. Eres number one. Ella es mi mamá. Ella es mi abuela. Ella es mi tía. Eres number one. Africana, 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 eres number one. Africana, 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 eres number one. Tú no tienes la culpa de ser tan bella, linda y hermosa como una estrella. Mamacita, es imposible que tú seas fea, fea. A mí me gusta tu piel, forma de ser, tu color caramelo como la miel. Todos sabemos estás a otro nivel y que nada te va a detener. A mí todo a mí me gusta de ti, labio, tu pelo hasta tu nadilla. Baby, la quiero solo para mí, para que nunca se vayan de aquí. Yo te quiero chombita, mi corazón siempre por ti brinca. Mami, tu piel es bella y bonita, echa pa'lante, dale negrita, negrita. Africana, hey, hey, africana, hey, hey, africana, eres number one. Africana, 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 eres number one. Tú stay with us. Tú stay with us. Tú stay with us. Come on. Hey, 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 hey. Eres number one. Ay, mi negra, me gusta tu estilo. Lastimarte sería prohibido. Y que no te dé pena. Si la mujer es más buena, son la morena. Oye, mami, no te desengañas. Hay una cosa que te debo informar. Mucha gente a ti te quiere difamar, porque saben que tú eres number one. La mamá de mi mamá es negra. La mamá de mi papá es negra. Ay, como quiero mi negra, latina, africana, ellas todas son bellas. Esto va para toda mi negrita. La trigueña también la pulisa. Esa guía le sí que tan bonita. Vermelita son las favoritas. Eres especial, sobrenatural, espectacular. Eres number one. Number one. Ella es mi mamá. Ella es mi abuela. Ella es mi tía. Eres number one. Africana, 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 eres number one. Africana, 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 eres number one. Eres number one. Africa, africana, Africa, africana, Africa. Eres number one. Thank you very much. Africa, eres number one.
Los Raka.
Muchas gracias, mi gente. Raka Rich, Raka Don, DJ Epic and the Ones and Twos. Juntos somos los Rakas. Thank you guys for having us. Make sure you guys look for us on our website, losracas.com. One love.
Los Racas.
Thank you. Gracias for joining us tonight as we celebrate our Latino Heritage Month con orgullo y amor. I humbly ask that we all do a few things to stay united and strong. Shop local. Support local-owned Latino restaurants and businesses, not just this month, but year-round. Businesses in the Calle 24 Latino Cultural District, the Greater Mission, the Excelsior, Soma, Bayview, the Tenderloin, and all over the city. Stay informed and educated with sources like El Tecolote newspaper, the oldest and longest running bilingual newspaper in California, who this year is celebrating 50 years of resistance, 50 años de resistencia. Stay connected to resources through the Latino Task Force located on 701 Alabama Street, where you can find resources related to COVID-19, food, free testing, financial assistance, housing resources, y más. Vote and take the census. Let your voice and presence be heard and counted. We are essential. So let us not become invisible inside our own nation. And lastly, stay positive, positivo, focused, and spiritually grounded. Pero sobre todo, siempre, siempre, siempre unidos.